channel. Welcome back to day 8 of TEACHMAS. So on December 8th, on Saturday, it was a wonderfully jam-packed day of family activity, friends activity. There was just so much that was happening. I had planned to make this pumpkin bread recipe on Saturday, but it just didn't happen, and that was totally fine with me because what ended up happening was so much better than making a pumpkin bread recipe anyways. Now you're still getting a pumpkin bread recipe, so don't click out of this video yet. I'm filming this part and the pumpkin bread recipe part on Sunday. So it was actually filmed on Sunday, but it was supposed to be on Saturday. So, I mean, it's still technically whatever. On Saturday, I spent the morning editing a vlog and got it out, and then my mom texted me and said, do you want to meet up for lunch? And Greg and I were like, sure. It's so hard to get together around this time of year. Just decided to meet them for a quick lunch, but a quick lunch turned into a few hours because we were just talking and it was nice, and I wanted them to see the nursery, so Greg and I asked them to come over to see the updates on the nursery. They ended up staying for the rest of the afternoon to watch Hoosier basketball. So it was some much needed family time. My sister went and got her dog and let her play with Lacey for a little bit, and it was just nice. It was a nice afternoon. And then when they left, we quickly got ready. Greg and I quickly got ready and went to his work Christmas party. So we had fun at their work Christmas party last night. And when we got back from the work Christmas party, we were hanging out with his older sister and her husband. So it was just a big jam-packed family day, and it was wonderful. It was nice. If I did have time to film this on Saturday, this is the pumpkin bread recipe that I wanted to make. So the pumpkin bread recipe that we are going to make today is a healthier version of pumpkin bread recipe. And I know you're thinking like, pumpkin bread, you know, pumpkin season is kind of over. You're totally right, but I actually have some leftover pumpkin puree in my fridge that I didn't want to be wasteful, and I wanted to use up, especially for a bread. I just love making banana bread and pumpkin bread and anything this type of year that I can just throw a slice in the microwave in the morning, put a little butter on it. That sounds so good. The recipe that we're making today, I've actually never made before, so I got it off Pinterest, and I will definitely leave the link down below for this recipe. Is going to be using my homemade pumpkin puree. So I've had some canned pumpkin puree in my fridge since Thanksgiving, and I've wanted to use it up. Canned pumpkin is good for a while. I know that I'm probably gonna be done with pumpkin after the holidays, so I wanted to go ahead and make it. And I'm gonna make a double batch and bring some in for my coworkers as well, because I have 2 cans of pumpkin. This recipe doesn't obviously have to use made pumpkin puree, but if you want to, it is very, very easy to make your own pumpkin puree. Really quickly before we get started, if you are interested in making your homemade pumpkin puree, all you have to do is buy a pie pumpkin, cut it in half, put it face down on a cookie sheet, stick it in the oven at 400 degrees, and just keep an eye on it. Mine usually bakes for about 45 minutes to an hour until when you open it up and you push it, it's really, really mushy. It's really hard to mess it up unless you completely forget about it for 2 hours and it burns, but it's really hard to mess it up. I've never messed it up before, and I've forgotten about it in the oven, and so you can just set a timer to check it in 45 minutes to see if it is nice and mushy. When it's nice and mushy, take it out, peel off the skin, throw the stem away. Or in my case, give it to your dog. It's very healthy for them. She absolutely loves pumpkin skin. So put the baked pumpkin flesh in a blender or a food processor. Throw some cinnamon or nutmeg, or if you have pumpkin pie seasoning, you can throw it in there and blend it up and can it. And that's it, guys. That is literally Libby's canned pumpkin puree. It's so easy. So I have 2 jars of that, so that's what we're gonna be using today. So how I made my low-fat pumpkin bread, went ahead and buttered my pan and put a little bit of flour in there and set aside. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. In a large bowl, I'm going to combine my pumpkin puree, your milk of your choice, 1 cup sugar, and 2 eggs. Go ahead and whisk it together, and then I'm going to add all of the rest of the ingredients. So that's what I liked about this easy recipe, is that there's no multiple bowls you have to use. You can just throw everything in one. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 cups whole wheat flour, my baking powder, baking soda, and all of my spices that I'm gonna be using. Now, I didn't have cloves. Ended up just using this cinnamon, allspice, and nutmeg, but the recipe did call for ground clove. But I felt like my pumpkin puree was really good and seasoned anyways, so I didn't want to make it too overpowering. Definitely mix through all of the lumps, but do not over mix. And then you're going to pour the batter into our loaf pans, and it's gonna bake for about 50 to 55 minutes or until your toothpick comes out clean. A little tip for when you're making bread is to put some parchment paper down on the sides. It doesn't have to be on all 4 sides, but if you put it down on the sides, it's very easy to lift the bread up out of the pan if you are not keeping it in the pan. Since I'm taking some of my bread to work, I went ahead and put parchment paper in one of them, and then the other one I just went ahead and left in the pan because we are going to just nibble on that at home, so I don't need it to be on some fancy plate or anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this pumpkin bread recipe. It turned out so yummy and delicious. Let me know if you tried it and give this video a thumbs up if you liked my recipe style videos. I've actually never done a recipe style video before, so this was a fun little bake with me that I did. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another video. Day 9 on Sunday is going to be a big clean with me, so if you like motivational vlogs or cleaning vlogs or laundry, dishes, real lifestyle, because my home is not clean all the time. So if you enjoy watching those videos, make sure that you are subscribed with the notification bell on so you don't miss a video. And other than that, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.